What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and we are nearing the end of Black Ops 6 Zombies as we know it. We're just over a week and a half away from the launch of DLC 4, and I figured I'd put together this video going over a ton of important points that you guys have been asking me about. We're going to be addressing a number of different things from the entirety of the Black Ops 6 Zombies narrative, what could be getting set up within Black Ops 7, the return of the OG characters, and a big connection to Modern Warfare 3. Over the last couple of days, teasers have revealed key details about the Janice Towers, setting high expectations for gameplay and even story. The first teaser showcases the interiors of the towers themselves, highlighting playable spaces in both the top and bottom floors with extreme verticality. Think of it a bit as a spiritual successor to Die Rise from Black Ops 2, since we haven't really seen any map built like Die Rise before. So the vertical design strongly suggests the inclusion of the rumored campaign grappling hook, allowing players to navigate the map's height dynamically, although there have been some conflicting thoughts about this, considering you could see teleporters in some of the teaser videos. So some folks are thinking that the map will be set up a little bit more like Firebase Z and even Forsaken, where you simply use teleporters to navigate around. One room in particular, though, is overgrown with dark ether plant life, indicating either a literal dark ether setting or, more likely, a lab within the towers that was overrun and infested after a breach. Another room seems to feature the Pack-a-Punch machine alongside a large laser that pulls characters towards it. This laser could be a gravity beam or a dimensional gateway, potentially tied to the map's mechanics or even the Easter egg. It looks pretty similar to the place the Abomination spawns near the Forsaken Cyclotron. The first teaser also includes dialogue, likely from Blanchard asking, and I quote,
"Can't trust this man."
"Can you trust this man?" The second teaser features Dr. Panos saying, and I quote, "We are putting the pieces together on our own," suggesting that the characters are already figuring something out by the time they reach the room of this teaser, which is where Pack-a-Punch is. Altogether, these lines do imply a strong dynamic between Blanchard and Panos within DLC 4, possibly forcing players to choose sides or work with one over the other within the Easter egg. That would be cool if there were choices like what we saw back in Black Ops 2 Zombies, but a Shattered Veil radio does confirm Blanchard is pursuing Dr. Panos, who trapped the Janice strike team in the Dark Ether at the end of Liberty Falls, setting up this conflict. The latest teaser does introduce us to the Mecha Klaus, an enemy that has been rumored for several months, a Panzer Soldat-style threat likely produced in this factory scene in prior teasers, which is seemingly now confirmed as the Mecha Klaus production facility. Teleporters between the towers are also shown, enabling seamless movement across the map, enhancing gameplay flow. But for those that haven't been keeping up to date with the narrative of Black Ops 6 Zombies, here's a quick rundown. So the rivalry between Blanchard and Dr. Panos is central to the storyline, originating at the game's launch with Liberty Falls and culminating in The Reckoning. At the end of Liberty Falls, Panos betrays Blanchard and his team, trapping them in the Dark Ether, allowing himself to escape. In Shattered Veil, we learn Blanchard continues to pursue Panos, who appears to be working with forces taking over Liberty Falls for the Dark Ether's agenda. We hear that he is helping to spread the chaos, and he is not being attacked by the undead. SAM has manipulated the Requiem crew throughout Black Ops 6, tricking them into securing the Sentinel artifact to steal Samantha Maxis' real body. However, SAM's delay in using the artifact suggests a critical, undisclosed step in her plan that must need to take place at the Janice Tower specifically. Richtofen has allied with the Requiem crew to stop SAM and recover the Sentinel artifact, driven by his personal goal to revive his murdered wife, Mary, and his son, Samuel. Mary and Samuel were killed in a botched CIA assassination attempt orchestrated by Weaver, a plot point set up all the way back in Black Ops Cold War. In Shattered Veil, Richtofen and Weaver confront each other about this tragedy, providing closure to their long-standing tension, with more details likely to emerge in DLC 4. Panos' mysterious ally, first hinted at in Liberty Falls through one-sided conversations, is confirmed in Shattered Veil to be a male voice and the guiding hand behind the destruction of the Liberty Falls town. This ally, who helped Panos escape the Dark Ether, is poised to appear in The Reckoning, potentially as the hat-wearing Shadowsmith who kidnaps Ava in the Modern Warfare 3 Zombies ending. But something I've been itching to talk about, which leaked out over a year ago, is the return of the original characters, and whether or not this will tarnish the ending of Tagged or Toten. So previous leaks have indicated that the original zombie crew, Nikolai, Takeo, Dempsey, and Richtofen, will return in Black Ops 7 as playable operators. Rather than a simple reveal later on with explanations of how they're back deferred to the Black Ops 7 DLC season, I believe Treyarch will announce their return in the Reckoning's ending to build some hype between August's DLC schedule and the Black Ops 7 November launch. That's about a 3-month gap from DLC 4 to whatever the launch map is. Fans have worried though that this could ruin the ending of Tagged or Toten, where the characters' sacrifice resolved the Ether storyline, but Black Ops 6 has already secretly provided a narrative solution. Throughout the Black Ops 6 maps, we've learned that the Dark Ether can actually manifest memories in liminal spaces, recreating past places, times, and even people. I mean, maybe that could even set up remastered maps in the future, but that's besides the point. In Shattered Veil, characters like Josiah Shem and Colton appear alive within these liminal spaces, existing as memory-based manifestations. But since Tagged or Toten cast countless realities into the Dark Ether, and Black Ops 7 Zombies mode is set in the heart of the Dark Ether per the initial blog post, the returning characters are likely liminal reflections of alternate versions from the Ether multiverse. These are not the original characters from Tagged or Toten who sacrificed themselves, but new iterations from other realities, preserving the integrity of that ending while reintroducing familiar faces and giving us new story potential for the crew itself. It's also unclear who would end up voicing Takeo, since unfortunately Tom Kane suffered from a stroke a couple of years back, so he likely won't be returning to voice this character. However, Nolan North could probably do a very good impression, as he's shown us in the past. It's also unclear what this would mean for the current Janice Richtofen, as we call him, or Eddie, aka the director. Would this Richtofen join the original characters after the Reckoning, or would there be a second Richtofen we're going to come across, whereas the journey for our current Richtofen could end up taking an unexpected turn? I think fans have also been skeptical about the return of the OG crew, considering somebody named Joseph worked at Treyarch for many years and was the apparent go-to guy for Blundell and Craig. He actually departed the studio and joined DICE for Battlefield 6 right around the launch of Black Ops 6, so clearly the narrative has taken a bit of a hit since his departure, so I'm really curious to see what direction they take the original characters narratively inside of Black Ops 7. But if you're wondering when we're going to finally see a connection to the ending of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, I don't think we're far from that at all. So, the hat-wearing Shadowsmith who kidnaps Ava in Modern Warfare 3 is a strong candidate for Panos' mysterious ally, given the narrative connections. In Modern Warfare Zombies, Ava is pulled through a mirror into the mansion area of Liberty Falls and straight into the Dark Ether. The Reckoning could feature Ava interacting with our characters in the past Dark Ether, creating a direct tie-in to the Modern Warfare Zombies cliffhanger, and maybe even a paradox. Alternatively, the DLC might reveal enough about the Shadowsmith's plan to clarify why he targets Ava in the future, providing context without her physical appearance. Another possibility is that the Modern Warfare Zombie cliffhanger does set up a storyline extending beyond Black Ops 7, leaving Ava's role and the Shadowsmith's motive unresolved for future games. As of now, Treyarch's next Call of Duty after Black Ops 7 may be in 2028 to also celebrate the 20-year anniversary of Call of Duty Zombies. But ever since the intro cutscene dropped for Modern Warfare 3, fans have been wondering when we're going to end up seeing the demise of the Requiem crew and whether that'll end up happening towards the end of Black Ops 6. So the intro cutscene does reveal that the Requiem crew's eventual death is due to Dark Ether exposure, as detailed in Gray's tape to Ava. The crew used the machine to extract all Ethereum from their bodies, preventing an outbreak and creating the Ethereum vials that kickstart Modern Warfare 3's story. The Reckoning's events must somehow lead to this outcome, with two plausible scenarios tied to the Janice Towers, in my opinion. First, the Ethereum reactors mentioned in Shattered Veil's ending are actually melting down right now, so this could potentially lead to exposure for our Requiem crew to lethal Ethereum levels if they do fully melt down. Secondly, Requiem might enter the Dark Ether inside of DLC 4's climax to confront the Shadowsmiths, possibly fighting alongside the liminal versions of the original characters. This would line up with a leak about 8-player zombie support that we heard about over a year ago. This battle in the heart of the Dark Ether would justify the crew's severe Ethereum infection, forcing them to extract it upon returning to the real world, leading to their deaths. This setup also aligns with the Black Ops 7 focus on the Dark Ether itself, potentially bridging the two games' narratives through this climatic battle. If we defeat SAM here, Panos' ally could be revealed as a Shadowsmith who drags us into the Dark Ether, forcing us to fight alongside the original characters to escape. This would leave Requiem plenty of time to fight and escape and still be in the the real world in time for Gray to have Ava, and then have them die off a few years afterwards. If the Forsaken's rule of 10 years to 1 year time still applies, they could potentially spend 10 to 15 years inside of the Dark Ether itself. Now, there seems to be a lot to unravel with just one more round-based map left in Black Ops 6. Thankfully, at least, we could end up getting a little bit of a cliffhanger, which does set up at least 6 more maps that we'll end up seeing for Black Ops 7 round-based.